By the way, on the subject of the gross beans, I think I'm starting to get... I've still got plenty to go, but just to make sure, I went ahead and picked up a new set of gross beans, and it's a new edition of them that includes some really gross stuff. There are two new beans, liver and onions or cappuccino, or old bandage or pomegranate. Yay. For now, it's the gross ones. Mads complained that she felt I was getting adjusted to the spicy one, so I'm very much not looking forward to the liver and onions one. But what I am looking forward to is playing some more Stanley Parable. That game cracked me up.
I was surprised I got that through that hole. It was tight, and I so am regretting what I just said.
Interesting. I didn't realize part one was out. Computer is very... Okay, that's fine the way it is. Adjust the slider until the dog and cat are friends? Yay, they're friends now. Well, the number 5 becomes the number 9. Wait, is there an... I know that's Roman numeral 9, but... Alright, there's actual 9. Let's go classy. Roman numeral 9. No, they did a remake of it. Adjust the slider until you stop. Wee slidey magoo. Woo! Most appealing to you. Aku Boinkle or Scrumtish? I'll go with Scrumtish. Okay, sure. Yes, I do know what time it is right now. What? I mean, I would hope that I'm not in some kind of temporal anomaly or something. I think it's the correct time. What is time anyway? Yes or no? No. What? Yes. Help? No. You come back to visit me. Sure. It's still the Stanley Parable 2. Okay. Well, the one thing I will say is that Sony's getting really good these days about starting to do PC ports. And with the success of God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn, I think that they're still in the market to continue doing so, with the PlayStation, of course, having some measure of exclusivity first. I'm kind of glad that all the console makers are starting to realize, hey, there are gamers on PC too, you know. So, who knows? Maybe The Last of Us will see a PC port. I have no idea, Herc. It doesn't seem like it should, but you never know. This is the story of a man with a game like this.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk.
I know we've seen this before, but just to kind of set the stage.
How long to push them and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So the other good thing that I'll say about the fact that Sony's doing a lot more PC ports these days is the fact that they're now getting more and more into the PC games market will prevent them from making the mistake they made with the PS3. The reason why a lot of PS3 games don't see re-releases and don't see ports, and what do exist are very crappy and rare, is that the PS3 utilized a completely custom architecture that Sony put together called Cell. It was difficult to program for, it was hard to write, and it was a unique architecture only for the PS3. So, obviously with them wanting to go into a PC game market, they're going to want to stick with a more standard architecture like x64, which is good.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, the bucket. I've kind of missed the bucket. Let's pick up the bucket.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Yeah, right? To me, the only purpose of the PS3 was to move Blu-ray. It was a tool in the format war more than anything
Stanley
else.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
There is a reason I'm doing this again. We did this last night, except there was a twist that I forgot about, and I want to make sure, I want to see if it's any different this time around with the bucket. I went into the room with the phone, and I answered the phone. But if I recall correctly, you can also unplug the phone instead of answering it.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Well, and for a while, the PS3 was the cheapest Blu-ray player you could get your hands on. If you wanted a standalone Blu-ray player, they were like $400. But you could get a PS3 for like $250.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Okay.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Yeah, this time we're not going to answer the phone. I think...
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
If I recall correctly, if we answer the phone, we wind up in the thing where we're going back and forth to work with the bucket.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Yeah,
Pick
we're
up
going
the
to
phone,
unplug it
and
instead.
it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke.
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies?
What?
And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper.
Yes.
If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention
He's got
and not
3
simply
hands.
filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, your audience is doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause.
Boy, this
just
took
as
a
our
turn.
children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the 2 doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's
my
head
gosh.
back.
No. Is he actually going to say, "I'm Dunny with the funny"? How can we... Okay. It's closing the doors behind... And there's a fence, so I can't get off.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink.
That sounds like me
things.
trying to figure out voices in Persona. Okay, we're going back. Me and my bucket. Okay. Nope. Just walking. Me and my bucket. Mr. Bucket?
Here we go. You ready?
Sure.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
All right. Well, we'll go along with it.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way
But
I can
you
make
told
the
me to
comedic
go to the
timing
left.
work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on, all because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud? Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Okay, we'll go to the one on the right. Okay.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
No kidding.
There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the 2 doors room.
No, it doesn't.
What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think...
No, are they actually going to play it again?
Watch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison.
Whoa.
Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not?
Am I in Dustin's stream? What's going on here?
Pale with shame. Pale with shame. Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal. I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly.
Sorry, Leroy.
That's
what
will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos.
Okay, I think that's a reset. Okay, good.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Whoa. Input received. Turn that off. Is it 2 now? Nope. Oh, the PCs say something now.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I'm keeping this office green, dang it! Figurine Finders Committee meeting today. Yeah, I still need to find more of the figurines. Can I pop any of these? Nope. I'm leaving the bucket behind this time. Ah, who am I kidding? I'm taking the bucket.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not
we're going on the lift
room,
again, but we're getting off early.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Oh
and
no, that takes us to
Had the bucket turned out to be correct.
That takes us to the mind control facility, right?
The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
That comedic timing video
alarmed
was
him,
hilarious.
of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this.
The videos that they show during that, when you don't have the bucket, are crazy too.
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Okay. So we'll go this way. Forget what's... I think this is the mind control facility?
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there.
Oh,
it
what?
says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. I like that this warning says don't stand on this side of the fence, but you have to be on that side of the fence just to read it. Oh. What?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
It's like an
Simple enough,
auditorium.
right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
It's like a game show. I'm gonna go no. No, that's not a bucket.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yeah, this sound in the background is so Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. No, that's not a bucket either.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Would that not actually be a bucket?
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Heck no.
Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
It's a bucket for people.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Where did a tractor come from?
Is this a bucket?
The tractor again. Yeah, that's a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket.
What? No. No. No, I know what they're gonna do with this.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
I am half expecting on the next reset on that pedestal is going to be a little tractor instead now.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Yep, that's a bucket.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something.
Yeah, but then you start getting into questions about philosophy and stuff. You got to go really deep, man.
Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
I don't know how to answer this question. Yeah.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective.
You're not the only one.
What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket?
There it
moments
is.
ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No!
Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait,
Because everything was a bucket.
Everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But
Does
it
feel
doesn't
better,
change the
doesn't it?
fact that we haven't got a game.
Oh, what are they
So,
going to do
tell
now?
you what? I'll reset everything, and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Okay. I'm still half expecting that there's going to be a little tractor on that pedestal.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
It's
meeting
just
room.
a bucket.
Perhaps he had simply
Okay.
missed a memo.
Computers are back on again. Let's go look for more. I'm going to take my friendly
Stanley
little
picked
bucket.
up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone. Not
And
with
let's
the
find more of
bucket
those
around.
figurines. We got 2 of them left, I think.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. So now, somewhere between red and blue. Crap, I've already gone the wrong way. A large room with lots of boxes. Let's look for that. Okay. What's up, Mads? Oh. Oh, the broom closet.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk?
In the original game, if you catch the broom closet open, you can stand in there for quite a while, and the narrator will just make more and more fun of you for just standing around in the broom closet. It'll be like, oh, you should tell all your friends the broom closet ending is the best ending, blah, blah, blah.
That it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well,
Whoa.
I never.
You need
Go
to
on,
turn that
Stanley.
knob down a
Lay
few
into it.
notches.
Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
I half expected there to be a prompt there for me to do something.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Is he just going to cover this thing in more stickers?
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see?
A
They
bucket
feel
sticker?
that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, "Ah,
Yes,
it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
How many levels of high do you have to be to write a game
You know
with
what?
this kind of
I could
script?
take the name calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
I'm waiting for him to get impatient and come back. He may actually not. I'm not sure. So anyway, how's everyone's Friday been? All right, we're leaving the broom closet. We're leaving the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase,
Yes.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Crap. I'm really trying to remember where we get the red and blue doors.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
Crap.
He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times.
Oh,
such as
congratulations,
these.
Herc.
He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone
It says
else's
property
bucket,
of Stanley
perhaps.
on
How
it.
did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd.
Been doing it for a little
Now
while
he felt
now.
himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room
Alright.
to room,
Do
passing
any
by
of these
one
have the
bucket after
sticker
the
on
next.
them?
None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Yeah.
Come to me, Stanley.
We've done this ending
Find
before.
me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been
I'm
coming
half
from.
expecting that one of
The
these
real
are
bucket
actually going to be
was
my bucket.
inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella
Right.
woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. there were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Okay. So I think in order to get to... If Rocket is right and you get to the red and blue doors by jumping off of the cargo lift, then I don't think I can do it with the bucket. So we're going to do a bucketless run on this
All
one.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Oh, it still
Perhaps
has
he
the
had simply missed a
stickers
memo.
on it. That's awesome. Okay. So we'll leave the bucket
When
behind.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yep, blah, blah, blah.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, at some point you kind of get to a point
Stanley
where you
was
feel
so
like
bad
you've
at
kind of
following
explored all the
directions, it's
cases.
incredible he wasn't
And you
5
have to
years
look
ago.
online for the endings that you've missed. And there's quite a few.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on
I was right. There's the other one. I was literally about to say, this looks like the large room with a lot of
the wrong
boxes. It's
foot
right
here.
there.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about
We're not done with the bucket, Dustin.
nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Hi-ya!
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look,
Yes,
let me
there's
prove
the red
it.
and blue
Let me
doors.
prove that I'm on your side. Give me a... You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Figla anurines is a stupid word.
Now
All right.
listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped.
Well, considering this room's a big
And
loop.
I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for?
What is this?
Here. Yes.
Whoa.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think
We're like
I
stuck in
feel
Close Encounters of the
happy.
Third Kind.
I actually feel happy.
I think this is actually really pretty. I know it's just simple particle effects and stuff, but... Okay. Ooh. Can I walk off? No. Okay. No suicide allowed in this room. Good. Ooh, green lights. Oh, the blue lights are gone. Where is this going? I feel like I should be having a meditative session right now. Hello! Thank you for the host. Or like this is the kind of backdrop that you want to use when you're listening to NPR on the radio. Yes, and that was Musings on a Donkey's Anus. Thank you for coming to our studio today. Where is this going? Does this just go on forever until I leave? Okay.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Okay. Does he actually change if I come back down? Oh, we can go back to the room with the happy colors.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
Nah.
No. What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
I wish you would
You
step
heard me
back
before,
from
didn't
that
you?
ledge, my
You
friend.
will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
Goodbye! Wait, what? What?
God, you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now,
I'm
can we
walking
please get
slower.
back to the other room.
It's just looping now.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving. Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
I think I just have to keep dropping. I'm moving much slower now than I was before.
No. No, no. What are you doing? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
See ya.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me? Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
It's still the same thing. Nothing's happening here except for the pretty lights.
You'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
What's up, Ellie?
No, perhaps not.
1-2 buy sprint. Let's go. It's what I get for listening to the frickin' narrator and actually taking the doors. Alright, so we know the last stand figurine or whatever it is in the cargo room. We're going for that next.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
He's like getting more and more
I
depressed.
just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much
There's
to
that
ask.
codependency Rocket was talking
like
about.
You wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Come on. We can do it. We can do it.
Is it over?
Oh.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
I want the bucket with me to get the last
Just
figurine.
a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Okay.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
How do I get there? I don't think this is gonna work. Oh, it did work! Ha ha!
Oh.
Ta-da!
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Wait, that's it? That's legitimately it? Okay. So we'll go through here. Whoa. Where is this? Okay. What are these cassettes of? Dialogue, dialogue. Okay. The narrator sound system. Whoa.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so...
This slow zoom in is creeping me out.
What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
Okay.
This is my golden ticket.
This is so
But I
creeping
have
me
to
out.
be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me. What's that? Who's there?
What was that?
Stanley, I'm sorry. but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one.
The likelihood of you
Wasn't it
dying
just
violently within the next 5 minutes is 87.61%.
Okay. Yeah.
the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Wow, really?
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. Oh, I love this game. Okay. So the last time we were in here, it was all about the original Stanley parable. And it still is. But this was not here before. Okay. Oh, by the way, on the subject of the awards that were on the wall that Fix said I moved too fast to see what they were BAFTAs. Is that actually the time? No.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Okay. What is this? This wasn't here. Oh, I see. Okay. Let's go ahead and pick up the first one. We'll give the narrator his little endorphin rush or whatever. Oh, I can't go back now. Oh, what if I missed them all? Oh, let's not pick any of them up.
And here was a second Stanlerine. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
The one that Rocket figured out. Well, one of the ones that Rocket figured out.
No. Behind the boss's office was the 4th place you found a Figanley, not the 3rd. Well, I guess
Figanley?
perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If the boss's office feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
I'm not picking
Let's
any
see,
of them up
what
this
came
time.
next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room.
What?
Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room.
No.
But it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
No, it didn't. What's with this giant apple? This is a disturbing amount of, like, Barbie pink.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was by the
Even
red
an
and blue
arcade.
doors. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh my gosh, it's all the old effects and stuff.
Takes you back, doesn't it?
Dude, that is a 2008 video if ever I saw one.
I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Okay. What's with the stage cloth? Whoa.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine.
This is not how
Right
we got
in the
here.
warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Okay. You are in the present.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone. No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Okay. I'll pick them up this time.
This spot in the warehouse.
I love how he can't let go.
Remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
7 of 6. Okay. Sure. We can go backwards a bit.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
And here's the disturbingly pink room. Cool.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this.
Wait. Okay. So if this is the room with this figurine, where did we actually get this figurine? Where are the room blue doors?
This one. Good room, though.
Right?
A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation.
This entire ending is the reward for finding them all. Wait, what is that? Alright. The boss's bathroom. Oh, the boss's bathroom is where we got the one... Oh, did they insert the pink room because we didn't go to the bathroom?
This was our second Figly. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Whatever.
Baldy, pass me a
hour
sensor
already?
beam. What, do you think I'm just
Ha!
giving these
You
away?
lose. Toothpaste or...
Because I'm not.
This bean's not supposed to be speckled. Toothpaste or berry blue? Oh, it's the berry one.
The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Okay. Wait, are we actually back here? Whoa. Okay. Wait, I can actually go in from this side. If we get that achievement machine again, I want to see... Oh, the jump circle's back.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. more memories.
Still out of jumps.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Okay. And the
before
office.
Everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown.
I love
old.
this VHS tracking
I want to think
effect.
for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, that really makes me wonder what's going to happen after this run ends. Give me just a couple minutes. I'll be right back. Let's keep on going, shall we? Wait, what?
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Oh, crap. Nice. Cool. All right. I like that rocket. That's pretty. I'm going to take the bucket with me if we're truly about to meet
Where
her
are we
end.
going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled.
I'm going to the meeting room this time. The meeting room has been talking about nothing but the Stanley figurines, and now we've got them all, so I want to see what it says now.
Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here.
Oh, now
Stanley
it's back to
needed the
normal.
bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
All right, we never did the original ending with the bucket. I want to see what happens.
Stepping
2845.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Crap.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him.
You know, the thing that they do with the bucket here is the same thing they did in Portal with the companion cube. By doing nothing but talking about the companion cube in Portal, they made you care about the companion cube. They're doing the same crap with this bucket.
Reassuring that in this darkest
but it's hilarious,
moment of
and I don't care.
He would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Okay.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
Fired.
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley
that would
it
be
gently,
funny,
reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Feeble?
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over
I feel like
another
there's a
human
way
life.
up this staircase.
For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
All right, that's 5. Where's 3 and 4? Okay, hang on. Okay, there's 3. 3. Crap. Hang on. We're gonna look at this. Where's the thing about, like, they all just say offline? Where's the 4 button? Is this open? No. Okay. It's so dark in this room. I feel like these buttons weren't here before. Right? We could all use a bucket in our lives. That's 3. I've only had crab once in my life. And I got a stain on my shirt that was freaking massive and had to fly from San Francisco back to Florida with it on my shirt. All right, 1, 2. I feel like 4 is up there. What is that button? All right, here's 3. I didn't know it was a bib. I thought it was a very thick napkin. They gave it to me folded on a plate. I just thought it was a big old napkin. Meanwhile, the coworker of mine from New England thought this was hilarious and didn't offer me any advice to prevent this catastrophe. Dang it. I think that's the 4 button up there, and I can't get there. Alright, whatever. We're moving on. This time we're turning it on.
When they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds.
What?
The control buttons became active again.
Oh, birds! There we go!
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him.
Oh, this is Ellie's ending right here.
This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hand, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
That was interesting.
Already this was uncomfortable, and
It's all the boxes.
Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Okay. Let's not take the bucket this time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love. Yes, really,
okay.
really worth it being here. But eager to get back to business,
I was wondering where that was going.
First open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
All right, the Stanley figurine area is still there.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you
and my
all this
bucket.
time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking, this is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh my gosh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope.
I didn't pick up
hope
the phone.
for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
What?
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp
safety
the
protocol?
severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Yeah.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
What?
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
All right. And the fence is back.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the...
What? A back sack and crack. What is that? My goodness. Is it 4:30? That was pretty good.
Foreman dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Okay. Back this way. So we're going to go all the way back to the 2 doors?
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Which one? I kind of want to go right myself. I'm going to go right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh, it's falling apart. Can I open any of this? Oh, that looks... okay. Oh, that looks wacky, dude. I think someone could actually make a real filing cabinet like this to be like a Beetlejuice art display piece. Okay. Fine. We don't seem to have a choice. We'll enter the door on the left. Wait, there isn't another door, right? Okay.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No.
I have to.
Whoa. Okay. 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 Everything's cool.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed.
I can't leave the
only thing in
room.
the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
Yeah.
What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story.
I think
If
you'll
you'd
get
just
over
gone
it.
through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
No, we are not going
Stanley
through the
came
door
to
on
a
the
set
left.
of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Wait,
That
is it
means
just going to
choosing
keep doing this
responsibly
over and over again?
always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, he didn't say anything this time.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Okay, so I have to go through the door on the
Behave
left.
exactly as
All
Stanley
right.
would. That means choosing responsibly
noted.
and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. I'm waiting for it to, yeah. Oh, no.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase,
Oh, I can't go
Stanley walked
downstairs this
upstairs to
time.
his boss's office.
The executive bathroom is not labeled. Whoa.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
I can't speak.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
I can't speak. Okay.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
That sounds like your problem. Excuse me.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there.
No, you just kept sending me here.
Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We're back up here again, huh?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose.
I would if I could, man.
Do something.
What if I could?
Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me?
Yep.
Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do.
Help you if I
Take as
could.
much time as you need.
All right. Excuse me a moment. I'll be right back. So, I think this is probably going to be my last stream of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. And evidently, to get to the end of the Ultra Deluxe storyline, now that I've gotten the figurines ending, I need to start the game again. So, hang on one second. Let me see. Okay. Credits. Woohoo. What time is it? Does anyone really truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. And now, the job is over. There's no information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can, and I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? Okay. That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time. No, not. Not that kind of thing. Okay. Chilling around the fire is cool and all, but let's keep walking. This is pretty. Holy crap. I'll go where the wind blows. This is so loud. This is the epilogue? To wander around in the desert forever? Whoa. Oh, it's the memory zone. And yes, for the record, I had no idea I was muted earlier. Oh, now there's some memories about the Stanley Parable too. Okay. Through here. Would really love some light here. Oh, perfect. What is that? Cookie Nine's blog. He's one of the ones who left a review of the original game. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teemed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fan base. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinitely deep hole? Who cares? Where are the new endings? What about the enjoyable bits from the Stanley Parable? Oh, the adventure line! I forgot about that thing! Instead, we get an uninspired side quest collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. What is this? The Mammal Times Cat Dog Born. Alright. What?
Jim.
When the Stanley Parable launched to massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise. But a disastrous critical and commercial reception to the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions, as outlined in a press release they published today. It's clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what the fans want, reads the press release. We thought we had a vision for the series that players would be excited about, yet it turns out this could not have been farther from the truth. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release. Wow, the memory zone has gotten kind of depressing here. Even before the Steam... Do these all still just say Jim? Aww. This epilogue's kind of depressing. The number still just keeps going up. Woo! More figurines! I can't really see. Whoa. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Whoa. Hello again. Oh my gosh. It's nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developer said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense. The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we're going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also need a really dumb subtitle for the game. Something loud and gaudy. Go ahead. Try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game. The Stanley Parable 3. Kind of want to go with Part 5. Part 5. The final... Oh, wait. Okay, Part 5. Escape Inspector? No, I can't... Oh! Okay, cool. Escape... No. Oh, I see. No more bomb. Story of swimming pool. We could go Part 5, swimming pool. Part 5, no. Dang it. Inspector Cowboy. Howdy, partner. What's going on around these parts? So it can't be Escape Inspector. It has to be one of these words followed by these. The final bomb. I like bomb. Oh, if they had the final, that would be that'd be great. It's just not in the list here. The ghoulish swimming pool? I'm going to go with the final bomb. The Stanley Parable 3, the final bomb. It's absurd. I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content, recycled again and again, with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? Sure thing. Let's FIFA this. I like it, but I want you to have a say as well. Let's do it. Good. Then it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. And you know what? Since you put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. All right there. The achievement machine is all fixed. You see, I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're going to keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. There's only one last thing we need to do. Inspector Hole. There's Dustin for you. The Stanley Parable 4. Inspector Hole. Okay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. So now...
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
Return to the Stanley Parable 2 Expo Hall. All right. Oh. Oh, there's no slideshow this time? What a disappointment.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts...
Okay, so
that
this
surely
is
the
just
game
the
will sort
normal
of
expo
naturally
floor again?
spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Okay. What if I go back to the Reassurance Bucket while I'm already holding one?
Wait, there are 2 buckets here? How did you get a second bucket? Oh no, the warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so
Don't tell me I'm gonna get to
intoxicatingly
carry 2 of
wonderful.
them.
With 2 buckets, there's no telling. Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me? Stanley! Oh, thank God, I didn't lose you. Stanley, the power of 2 buckets was too much. I had to destroy both of them. I know how much the bucket meant to you, but I couldn't take the risk.
What?
I hope one day you can forgive me.
Hey! That was my bucket! They leave the twisted handle on the floor. Okay. So no bucket.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Did that actually change the choice? I love it.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with...
Oh,
no.
it said
No,
they fixed the
I've
achievement
made my
machine.
decision. We're moving on.
Okay. I forgot the
Now,
achievement
here's
machine
something
is why I
special.
came back
you
down
remember
here.
that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement.
And we'll find out what that is in a moment. Be right back. Already needed something.
Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you.
I
It's
half
as simple
expect
as
that this
that.
maybe isn't fixed. Let's see. Oh, it worked! And it gave me the achievement. Test
As you
achievement.
can
Please
see,
ignore.
The machine is not working yet since... What? Wait. What in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement? Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God. Composure. Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended.
Solid recovery.
It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
Okay. Well, since everything in the expo hall seems to be different now, we've got to test everything. Okay.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
The collectibles. We got to get more of those Stanley figurines. Out of order. You've been here all... What? Okay. The infinite hole. Could test the infinite hole again. Let's do that.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like.
I love this
leap
chart.
forward for video games as a medium.
Okay. Wait, what happened? What? Where'd that cover come from? It was not there a moment ago.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Now, last time...
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum.
Whatever.
Please.
Baldy, pass me a sensor bean. What, do you think I'm just giving these away?
Buttered popcorn or
Okay,
rotten
Stanley,
egg?
I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by
Thanks,
falling.
Ellie.
What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look,
No,
thing's got a
they
little
very
fidget
much
there.
do
I
not
think we
help,
both said
Ellie.
some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to
All
show
right,
you even
I'm not
more
going
of my
through the
ideas
hole
for
again.
sequel.
That was a whole thing last time that I'm not particularly eager to reproduce. Wait. Oh. There's an entry up there. Where's it go? Oh, get out of my way. Grab it and move it. What I wouldn't do for the Half-Life 2 gravity gun. Just pick it up, throw it. Okay. Settings World Champion. That door was never open before. And it still isn't. Okay. That's new. We've been through there. What was I going to do here? I feel like I'm reminding myself every time because I keep forgetting. I'm still pissed they removed my bucket. Okay. So up here, epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay. So there's nothing. The jump circle
For the
I'm
Stanley
still
Parable
exhausted
2,
out of.
I asked myself,
I'll check it out in a moment.
what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and
The
validated
name
as
Jim
people.
is not on
So
this
with that in
poster at
mind,
all.
my first addition to the game is this button, which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you
Just
to
like that.
imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Oh,
do you feel it deeply?
Did you
Are
become
you
Jim?
really,
You'll like this
Jim
part
right
then.
now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
Jim.
I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Buttons are meant to be pushed. Moving on.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Alright, that doesn't open. The jump circle, I still don't have any jumps.
You know what? Let's bring the
I feel
jump
like there was
circle
something
back
I was
for
supposed to
Stanley
have done
Parable
with that.
2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Oh.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now? So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well,
rats.
I mean, there's potential.
I saw the
here,
jumps
right?
remaining
It's
down there,
sort
and I
of-
had to see if
Okay,
it
never mind.
actually let me have jumps
Hold on.
now.
Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes. This
right.
is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Is there really nothing up here?
Who am I kidding, Stanley?
Rats.
This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction...
But we've already changed the title
This
screen.
is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Yeah, it's still the Stanley Parable 4.
This...
Man.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
Oh,
it
the
mean?
balloons have changed.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
To
he
the
had
ones
simply
I
missed a
wanted
memo.
in the first place.
Ah, the embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
The new content door is still open. Hang on. Trophy machine is fixed.
This is taking too long. I'm gonna miss the farmer's market.
Okay, hang on. There's one more
Stanley
ending I want to
clutched the
get.
bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps
Nope.
his boss's
One
office
bucket will
was where he'd come
one
into a
bucket will
staircase.
escape.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Crap. Oh, it's this one. Okay. There's a way to get through these doors and get on the other side of them before they close.
Stepping in.
There it is. Okay. This is an older ending, but I want to see if it changes with the bucket. All the way back. Okay. This hallway is longer than... Oh, there it is. No, this is going to be my last one. Employee 428. You are now leaving. The escape pod bay. Dun, da, da, da. You feel free to record it, Mads. I'm sure it'll be okay. I think it is kind of ridiculous that they've added that like slight squeak to every step. Okay. Maybe you two can order a simple steel bucket from Amazon and be comforted by it. So dark. How deep does this go? Okay. Could you imagine being in a building with 760 floors? How tall would that thing be? How big is a story? Hang on. How tall is a story in a building? About 14 feet. That thing would be like 1.5 miles tall. I can't tell. Oh, okay, there's something. An escape pod. I can't control any of this. We put the bucket in the escape pod. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
There's
mean?
a way to get out of this
Stanley
friggin'
decided
window.
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, they look like pink or purple or something, yeah. We are done with the Stanley Parable. It has been fun to revisit this. I know there are more endings. This game has all sorts of random stuff to it. If you want to explore it yourself, please, you know, it's not the price of like a AAA game or whatever. It's not that expensive at all, but the original game was worth it. This has all the original stuff and even more. So I highly recommend that you take a look at it. Even though we've probably gotten through quite a lot of it in even the 2 streams that we've done here. But good evening, Feesh. How are you? We are done for tonight.